So here with me is today Louis Crampton. He's been in the scootering scene for a long, and he's now the scootering manager in World Skate, like the federation that is like working on the Olympic career for the scootering. So welcome, Louis. Welcome here. How are you?
Hey, I'm good, thanks. Yeah, I'm good. So, I work in the sports department of World Skate. World Skate is the Olympic federation that was successful in taking skateboarding to the Olympics. Obviously, they've recognised the value and the potential of scootering with young people and how incredible the sport is. Actually, we've had these contests and huge events like this one for years now, but it's good to finally have the platform like World Skate, and it's exciting to be a part of it. And yeah, for the first time, it's going to be in Madrid. We're going to have 6 disciplines. So we're going to have men's, women's, and juniors park and street world championships. There's going to be 6 world championships in the space of 3 or 4 days. So it's going to be action packed, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's so nice. Like we have like 6 competitions this year. It's gonna be like a busy week there
Yeah,
in Madrid, Rio. I want to introduce like the. I know some of like scooter fans already know the place because they've been. Is we already organized like two two editions before 2021 and 2022, and with like a Scooterman Park and Scooterman Street. This year, the new edition comes with the World Championship, and it's like the Junior Street that is like a new one, and also the women divisions in both disciplines. So, just like to introduce people, where is the spot for these World Championships? Is in Madrid Urban Sports. It's like international event organized by Urban World Series. We also organize it in Barcelona, but yeah, we want to like improve this event in Madrid, and I think like this is one of the best things we can do. Uh, this event is the location is Parque de Madrid Rio. Is in the middle of the city. Is one of the biggest green zones in Madrid city. It's so nice. It's like such a good place. It will be a bit like warm. Riders from last year already know. So, but I think it's like, and also want to say like both parks. The street plaza is going to be like new additions, new features, and we are also building something related to some Madrid real spots in the streets. We want to introduce this kind of skate park in the streets, and the Central Park. Just to know for all the riders that last year were competing, it's going to be the same Central Park as last year, because I think like the flow run is one of the best we find with the combinations of our features. So yeah, it's like 2,000 square meters of competition area to have like 6 new world champions.
yeah, it looks really good. I watched the whole event last year. The park gave us some incredible riding. It was a really high quality contest, and the street one looks like there's a few new cool bits as well. But another thing that's really important is just having a good physical location where a lot of the public can see the sport. That's huge for us, and that spot in Madrid is perfect for that kind of thing. So yeah, the public are going to come along and just see a lot of scootering over a short period of time. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. The park we know worked really well from last year, and the street has some new bits. So looking
Yeah.
forward to it.
For now it's surprise. It's like secret, but we're going
Yeah.
to we're going to release it soon. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Next topic, Luis. What about the ranking system and the leaderboard in this World Championship?
Yeah, so something I'm really excited about, something that I think we've needed in scootering for a long time, is a world ranking system. And finally, with this one in Madrid in 2023, it will be the first event that ever appears on the ranking system. And then what we're going to do from that point is all the World Skate sanctioned and major events we're going to include in that ranking system. And there's a document that explains how the point system itself works. Basically, the bigger the event, the more points are available. So this being the World Championship, it's the most points anyone's ever going to be able to receive to kick off what is going to be a really, really interesting world ranking system, where it's not just about becoming world champion at one contest. It's about consistently performing throughout the year at several contests. And yeah, eventually we'll have a leaderboard that changes all the time with all the new events. And as the year goes on, it's actually going to be an 18-month system. So from June until December 2024, so there's going to be 18 months as a rolling system, essentially. All the WorldSkate official events will be in that. So there's a lot of value in the World Championships because it's not only the first event on there to get yourself on the leaderboard where you want to be, it's also going to be the most points available. And that's how, in some of these events, we're going to select our pre-seeded riders, where, let's say, for example, the top 10 qualify. We'll use the ranking system for events like that.
Yeah, that's good. And that's good to have that. I think it's like the first time ever we have like a kind of leaderboard like this one. And this also brings more chances to the riders to fight for the top spots in this leaderboard, right?
Yeah, for sure. And it also means that when there are, let's say, the World Championships, which has been in Europe now, except Argentina, for a long time, it gives the opportunity to riders from other parts of the world where other major competitions happen. It lets them, it gives them a chance to appear on this world ranking system as well. It's not just about being in this specific place in this specific day and being world champion or world number 5 or something.
Yeah.
It means that when there's events spread out everywhere, a lot more riders can be included in what is going to be a really interesting system.
Perfect, Luis. That's such nice info. This is nice, and we can't wait to see like how the leaderboard goes up and down. That is gonna be like a good game to see and watch.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And again, for that information, you can see a document on the worldskate.org website under Scootering, under About, and there's a document that explains the world ranking system in more detail.
Okay, so Luis, I think like one of the main things that all the competitors want to know and all the contenders for this World Championship is the competition format. I think it's something really important because we have like news here.
Yeah, so we've tested a few different formats over the past couple of years. We want to make sure we've got something that's really exciting for the fans to watch as well as the riders to be in. We think we've really managed to nail down a brilliant combination of the two. So for the street format, it's what we're referring to as 2-3-3 in the final. So in the final of the street, the top 10 riders, that's the same for men and women. Juniors will be top 6.
Top 6, yes. Top 6.
Top 6 go to the final. The final, you have 2 runs, and then you have 3 best trick attempts. And of those 5 scores, your top 3 will count. So your top run will count, and your 2 best tricks will count. You'll get a total of 3 scores. Your run is scored out of 100, and your best trick is scored out of 50 each. So your maximum total score is 200. 100 from your run, and 50 for your 2 best tricks. What it means is you can drop 1 run and you can drop 1 trick. Yeah. So it means that we don't just see the consistency and the brilliant 45-second runs. We also see some absolute bangers. We also want to see progression and stuff as well. So we want to give people 3 chances to throw something crazy down, and then you get that combined score at the end.
Yeah, that's nice. I think it will be like, it's nice because we put like some more value on the run. That I think is like the hardest thing in the contest. But
yeah, for sure.
You also have the 2 single tricks that are really important. But 2 tricks is the same value as one best run. You know?
Yeah. So if anyone was for anyone who watched Argentina last year in Buenos Aires, we tried this format, a slightly longer version, which is known as the Olympic format in skateboarding, which is 5 best tricks, and they were scored a bit higher. We took a lot of feedback from that contest. Obviously, we build a lot of what we do off what the riders and the people involved think of it, and from our own experience. So this year, I think we've really managed to nail it down with the weight of the points. We don't want to give too many points for a single trick when in a run, there's a lot of tricks in a run. So yeah, I think the 2-3-3 is perfect. It doesn't make it too long, but also gives you an opportunity to see both people flowing around the park and making really good use of the obstacles to just throwing down something really heavy as well.
Okay, yeah, that's nice, and will be. I think it's gonna be like a good competition format for street, and we're going to see like a really good show. But
Yeah.
so, how about park? Can you explain us like a bit like how it's gonna be like the format this year for the park competitions?
Yeah, so park format, we tested this for the first time properly at the World Championship last year in Argentina, and it was a brilliant show. We've spoken to all the riders since, and they really enjoyed it. It made it such a good like conclusion. It really peaked right at the end of the contest. And the way it works is, um, I guess slightly similar to the street format in a way. You get a 45-second run as normal, you get a little breather, 10, 15 seconds to catch your breath, and then you go and drop a last trick as well. So you do the full 45-second run as normal, um, and then you've got something in your head you want to throw down at the end. So that combines a score of 100 for the run and a maximum of 10 for the last trick. So really, you nail your run, you get an opportunity to boost that even more by throwing something big for your last trick as well. So what happens is, in the final of 10 riders, rider one is going to drop in, do a 45-second run, and then straight after that run, do their last trick. Rider two is going to do their run, then last trick. Rider three altogether, and then it goes back again. So you get
Okay,
2 rounds of
yeah,
that, and your best round score counts. You'll
yeah,
see one score come up on the board. The maximum score you can get for that is 110 points. You'll see
okay,
one score. You won't see a score out of 100 and a score out of 10. You'll see one score out of 110. Um, and
yes,
yeah, just to clarify, that last trick is straight after you run. So you get a
yeah,
bit of a
and
breather,
it's like a
have a bit of
bonus,
water.
right?
It's a bonus, yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, you nail your run, it could be good enough for first, then
yeah,
throw something big down and then cement it. That's the idea. And it
yeah.
makes for a really good show, especially for the spectators as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's such a nice idea. It's like I think it's like a good new addition on the park like contest that is like it's been like uh, more or less the same format in last 7 or 8 years competitions. So I think this
Yeah.
gets like a new excitement for the athletes and also for the spectators.
Yeah, for sure. And something as well, we're not just changing things for the sake of it. We want to make sure that it's still in everybody's interest. We're not trying to kill the riders and make them
Yeah,
do a 2-minute run or anything. We still want to see the best riding. We just know that in park, there's never normally um, a proper opportunity to land a huge singular trick
yeah,
like there is in street. So
yeah,
we want to see a bit of both. And like I said, we tried this out last year. It was a bit of, I guess, not a risk, but we tried it for the first time last year and everyone loved it. It's brilliant. Um, and just to clarify, these formats for street and park are the same for men, women, and junior. So everyone has
yeah,
an equal opportunity to make the most of these formats. And something else to just add to the formats is the qualifying round and the semi-final in both of these formats is just the two 45-second runs that everyone is used to.
yeah.
And then it's the final where these big point scoring formats come in.
Yeah, that's it. It's like the same, like qualifiers and semifinals is the same. Park Street, just the final has like a like this particularities. Like Park has his own like format and Street his own format. That's it.
Yeah, so the qualifying round, the two 45-second runs, the same in both out of 100 points in Park and Street. That will narrow down the field in men and women to 20 riders for the
Yeah,
semi-final, and in junior that will narrow it down to 12. So
yeah,
juniors go down to 12 and then 6 for the final, and
yeah.
men and women go down to 20 and then 10 for the final.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, you want to talk like about the now we are like in the competition format about the riders quota. I think like it's okay because you started like saying it now, but just like the especially like the men that is like the most crowded competitions. Just letting people know how is the maximum of athletes we can reach because like Madrid Urban Sports is not only like a single scootering event. We are like coexisting with skateboard and also with BMX.
Yeah, so it's going to be an interesting one for the organisers to sort out. But there's going to be a lot of riders, a lot of riding, a lot of good shows going on with other sports as well. With scootering, there is a pre-seeded list which were taken from the last year's World Championship. So the top 10 from men's and women's park and street, and the top 5 from, is that right? 1, 2, sorry. Yeah, so, okay, sorry. Yeah, so it's going to be a packed weekend, not just of scootering, but there's also the BMX and skateboarding contest as well. So it's going to be a bit of a juggle, but it's going to be brilliant to be there as a spectator. So for scootering, there's a list of pre-seeded riders from last year's World Championship. So the top 10 from men and women, Park and Street, and the top juniors as well automatically qualify. So those guys are excluded from the so-called quota that countries have. So those guys are already in, no matter where they're from. The quota we have for each country is 10 for men and 10 for women for each discipline. So it's not a minimum, that's a maximum. So you could have 2 men's street, 1 men's park rider from one country, or you could have 10 in both. It depends on what the country wants to send. So yeah, there's 10 in those, and there's 5 for juniors as well in both those categories.
Okay, after talking about the competition format, one main thing is like the schedule for this week. It's going to be like a busy week, and just like to let the riders know, we are going to start on Wednesday with the practice. Okay, it will be like a scooter full practice day, only scooter. Then Thursday is the second day practice, and maybe we can like this second day start like with first quali or semifinals from the women and junior. Okay, it's not confirmed 100% yet, but could be. But the rest of qualifiers are going to happen on Friday, and Saturday and Sunday the rest of semis and finals. Okay.
Yeah, and I think what's important for people to know is that that schedule will obviously be confirmed when the registration has closed.
Yes.
So with these kind of contests, it depends how many guys, girls, and juniors we have. We don't know yet. So Wednesday is a practice day, essentially. The riders need to know, get there in time for Wednesday. That's the big practice day. From that time onwards, it's going to be a very busy weekend because we have skateboarding and BMXing as well as 6 world championships. So it's going to be crazy. I would recommend everybody to get there in time for Wednesday practice.
Yes. Yes, like riders, remember, Wednesday, Madrid, important. It's like full practice day. All both parts are for you. Men, women, junior. We have we did like different like slots of practice on Wednesday. Thursday, there's also a long practice day, but it's combined with other sports. And we start competing maybe afternoon Thursday. And for sure, Friday is like a full complete qualifier day. Okay, so that's the main schedule.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the proper schedule will be released when we know it.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to adjust when we get there.
Just to let know, guys, on like riders, Wednesday. You know, that's the
Wednesday in Madrid.
Yeah,
Wednesday in Madrid.
Wednesday in Madrid. So next thing to talk about is the how to register for these World Championships. I think it's like an important thing to know.
Yeah. So registration, if you've been part of a World Championship before, then you'll know how this goes. But I'm going to treat this as though no one's done it. So World Skate gives a lot of responsibility to work with the national federations to have their countries represented, which is again in line with the Olympic principles. And so the process isn't just you personally sign up for the event. What happens is, assuming there is a national federation in your country, you sign up to the Infinity platform on World Skate, and that registration opens on the 9th of May. You sign up for an Infinity profile. An Infinity is the registration platform that World Skate has built itself. So on Infinity, when you have a profile, you're then eligible to be selected by a national federation. Essentially, the other side of it is the national federation looks on their platform, sees all these people from this country that have registered interest, they select who they want to have. Now, obviously, there's normally communication there, but you have to be on Infinity to be selected by the national federation. That's really important. So you can make that profile whenever you want. You can make it right now. But from the 9th of May, national federations will be able to formally select those riders. They can't do that if you're not on Infinity. Another thing is, if there is not a national federation in your country, and it doesn't have to be a national scootering federation, just a national roller sports federation, if there isn't one at all, you need to contact scootering at worldskate.org, and we will guide you from there. The way to check if there's a national federation or who your national federation is through the World Skate website. If you search World Skate national federations, you'll come up with a web page that has a drop-down list of more than 140 national federations around the world. If your country doesn't have one, that's when you apply for a wildcard. If your country does have one, you open that communication with them and you register through Infinity. If your national federation listed on there is not communicating for whatever reason, you don't hear back from them, or you're not confident that they have really dealt with scootering before, again, get in touch with scootering at worldskate.org and we'll help you out as well. But for most people, most federations are on there. Most countries have one. It's easy. Register for Infinity, contact your national federation to let them know you're interested, and then wait until the 9th, and then the national federation will be able to select the riders.
Okay, perfect, Luis. This is important. I think this information is like one of the main things they want to know. People want to know.
Yeah, it's definitely different to before, but we're
Yeah.
trying to build that. We're trying to build the foundations really for a more formal process
Okay,
in scootering.
that's good.
Obviously, our goal
Yeah.
eventually is the Olympics. There's a lot to do before then, but we want to
Yeah.
start with the proper way to do things now. It's a little bit different to before, but people have done it for the past few years and it's worked out fine.
Okay, that's it. That's it. Important. If you want to register to these World Championships, follow the instructions that Lewis gave to us. So yeah, we are almost ending this video. We just have like 2 more things to talk. One is like the safety, right?
Yeah, so just a quick thing about the safety, really. So
Mhm.
we had a little bit of confusion in Argentina, not confusion, but people were curious in Argentina what the rules are with athlete safety. So in the park competition, whether it's qualifying, practice, men's, women's, or juniors, everybody of every age has to wear a helmet, no matter who they are. In the park competition, it is mandatory for everybody. In the street competition, if you are over 18, you don't have to wear one, but we still strongly recommend, with the level of tricks people are doing, we really want to see everybody wear one, but it is not mandatory for over 18s. So if you're junior or if you're under 18 in men's, women's categories, then you have to wear one.
Okay, thanks. Park riders, helmet, mandatory. Street riders, if you're under 18, mandatory. If you're over 18, up to you, but recommended. Okay?
Yeah, please wear one.
Yeah.
I understand it. I rode for years. I know the feeling, but you see one
Yeah.
bad crash, you should have had a helmet on.
Yeah.
So we strongly recommend it.
If you get it, if you get one, then you wear a helmet, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so last thing. I think like with this, like we just like gave like really important information in many things about the World Championships. I think with this video, rather the contender can know like almost everything about what we're building and what we're going to do. But so the last thing, and it's also really important when this video is like the anti-doping control, right?
Yeah, so anti-doping, again, I'm going to treat this like no one's done this before. So anti-doping is the idea of keeping sports clean and fair and keeping the integrity of sport so people can't be taking performance enhancing or illegal drugs in competition. Obviously, one of the strong Olympic principles is clean and fair sport, and World Skate follows that very closely. We believe in all the same kind of things. So it's all done through WADA, which is the World Anti-Doping Agency. So you'll have to, when you register on Infinity, you'll have to do an anti-doping kind of like a mini course and submit a certificate. If you've done that certificate in the past 2 years, you don't have to do another one because it's valid for 2 years. Now, we've had a lot of questions recently from riders kind of saying, well, I have to take this medication. Is that okay? Or am I going to get caught out with anti-doping? The answer to that is 2 things, really. One, every athlete is solely responsible for what they take. There's no way that anti-doping and WADA and all the tests that get done will be like, oh, I didn't know. You have to know it. You're putting it in your body. You should know anyway, but especially in competition circumstances. The way to check if your drug breaks those rules or is forbidden currently or whatever is by searching global DRO, That's a website that is linked to the WADA prohibited list. Basically, if you're from a group of certain countries, you can just list this medicine and it will automatically know all of the constituents of that and check against the list that says this is prohibited. Or if you're from a country that's not listed on there, you can still list all of the drugs one by one that's in that medicine to make sure it's fine.
Okay.
Essentially, it's a big register that says, we don't allow these drugs. And you can search whatever prescription it is for asthma or whatever.
Yeah.
You can check on that website, I'm taking this, is it okay? If you have to take that, there is a process to try and get exemption, but realistically, if it's on that website, it is prohibited.
Okay, thanks, Luis. I think this is like a good point to clarify to everyone.
Yeah,
everyone knows the position of the World Championships in terms of taking any single substance that may be forbidden. So this year we want to be like really we want to repeat this a lot of times and be really clear, like, hey, there's like there's no reason to doesn't know this, because we are like telling you like actively a lot of times, you know.
Yeah, and it's important to like, I think it probably feels like a few changes have happened in the past couple of years with formats, with anti-doping and everything. We just want to make sure scootering already is an exceptional sport. It's the best sport in the world. It's so active, it's so exciting, it engages so many people everywhere in the world. We know that the sport as a spectacle is perfect. We know that. But what we also need to do is just make sure we have the background bits in place as well. So these changes are all for the good. Most people don't have to worry about it. And as always, if there are any further questions about any of that stuff, whether it's anti-doping or the format or registration, anything, the contact address is scootering@worldskate.org to get in touch.
Okay, thanks, Luis. Perfect. So I think with this last point, this last topic, we're done. We just want to say like thanks for watching, and hope we see you, or we see all of you in the World Championships. We can't wait to see which tricks we're going to see and watch. Of course, the finals, men and women, will be broadcasted in TV, in Urban World Series YouTube channel, Olympic channel, and in more than 60 countries around the world. So I hope you enjoy with us this World Championship. We are going to do our best to bring you the best scootering ever.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be a busy few days, but it's going to be incredible. So it gets better every single year. Every year I go to a World Championship event, and it becomes the best it's ever been. And I'm like, this year it can't get any better, and then it always does. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. So thanks, Luis, for your time, for all the info.
Thank you.
And guys, people, stay tuned for more videos in Urban World Series. We're going to bring you more competitions, more entertainment. We're going to be like pushing urban sports as its finest always. Okay? See you guys.
See you there. Bye bye.